Welcome back to Political Empire, your daily source for inland politics news and analysis. I'm Jeff Horstman with the PressEnterpriseMP.com, here to talk about medical marijuana and the city of Riverside, where medical marijuana supporters won a ballot measure that would legalize and regulate a small number of dispensaries. So joining us to discuss all this is reporter Alicia Robinson. So Alicia, why are medical marijuana activists taking this route?
Well, Jeff, in this particular case, there is a group called Riverside Safe Access, and it is made up of a number of people who, according to supporters, they do live in Riverside, and some of them are medical marijuana patients. There was at least one woman that's part of the group who had a marijuana dispensary. However, she was forced to close it down following the state Supreme Court ruling earlier this year that allowed cities to ban, or said cities can ban dispensaries through zoning, which has been discussed on this show before. Basically, this group has submitted paperwork to the city to put forth a ballot measure that would allow Riverside voters to decide whether they want to create a process for a limited number of dispensaries. It would set up how they would be regulated, where they could operate, and what other rules they would have to follow. They turned in their paperwork to the city. They did receive their official ballot title and summary. They're required to publish that, which they have done, so they should be out starting to gather signatures within the next 10 days or so. Now, what the organizers told me is that one of the reasons that they chose Riverside is they realized after the Supreme Court ruling that this was just going to have to be a city-by-city fight, and Riverside symbolically was probably a good place to start because Riverside was really on the front lines of opposing having the dispensaries in its city limits.
Well, given that they were on the front lines of that, what's been their reaction to this ballot measure?
Well, so far they haven't really had much of a reaction that I'm aware of, other than following their legally required responses by checking over the paperwork that the proponents submitted and then giving them their ballot title and summary. However, considering the city attorney's very strong position against medical marijuana dispensaries, it wouldn't surprise me if at some point he tries to squash the measure before it even gets to the ballot, perhaps by finding some sort of legal issue or precedent on which he can get it ruled illegal.
All right. So looking ahead, what can we expect in the coming months over this?
Well, I think the next thing you're going to see is the proponents are going to be out in public places gathering signatures. I don't know exactly where. We don't have those details yet. But they have about 180 days to gather something like 9,000 signatures of registered voters in Riverside. So that's a pretty big hurdle, but they said it's not going to take them nearly that whole time to do it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Alicia. Appreciate it. And thank you, as always, for watching Political Empire. We'll see you next time.